Okay, so the Bucks are done. The Heat are going on to round two, and we just got the sixth, seventh, eight to beat the one ever, whatever it is. Is anybody else kind of speechless right now? Because I kind of am. I mean, look, the Bucks were my finals pick at the beginning of the season. They were my pick, like 2 months ago when I did the Bucks are the best team in the East or whatever thing. And I can get into the playoffs a little bit in a second here. But first off, a lot of things happened in this game. Probably something that I'm going to end up missing just because instant reaction and all that beautiful stuff. I do want to start with Jimmy. There are many things to say about the Bucks offense and Budenholzer and not calling a timeout at the end there and just all that. But with Jimmy, if I can just look at some of his stuff in the fourth quarter, I remember a face-up three over Drew on the left wing. I remember a pull-up mid-range over Brook Lopez drop coverage. Of course, there was that insane curl play where I think it was Pat Connaughton and Drew that were involved in the action, and Jimmy's falling over and somehow throws it up in there. And on that play, so they had Giannis guarding the inbound pass, and I mean, we understand why. You put size there, so it's a little tougher for the guy to make the pass. But part of me does wonder, what if you just had a little more size just around the rim for that specific type of thing? Now, of course, you don't know what's going to happen on the inbound beforehand, so maybe that's just me being a little too results-oriented. But still, it was wild from Jimmy. I believe it was in overtime. It might have been in the fourth quarter where Jimmy had this turnaround mid-range over Drew on a play that just kind of ended up dying. We also had, I think we're now in the overtime. We'll get to the Bucks offense, don't worry. But in the overtime, it was I think Max Strus ran a ghost screen for Gabe Vincent, which allowed Vincent to get a little bit of momentum because it freaked out one of the defenders on the Bucks. And then it seemed I don't even remember who was guarding him. It was all a blur at this point. But Brook, committed a little too hard on the help, which allowed Bam to then get a putback dunk. And then you had that Cody Zeller inbound dunk where Jimmy was doing some sort of a cut action from one side of the paint to the other, which made Brook commit for just a second for where then Cody could get that one. And when that dunk went through, that's when I officially went into oh my God, the Bucks are going to blow this, aren't they mode. It manages to get worse though, because then Giannis fouled Max Strus on the three-point play. And maybe Bucks fans will look at that and argue all day that it shouldn't have counted. I mean, I haven't taken a second look at anything. I'm just going purely off of memory right now. But yeah, that's what happened for the Heat in terms of their offense. I probably missed some things in there. I mean, for what it's worth, throughout the game, Lowry had some big pull-up jumpers and stuff. Anyway, onto the Bucks offense. So in that fourth quarter, Bam was on Giannis a little bit more. I want to say Giannis had 3 or 4 misses just over Bam in the post. I remember there was one play where he screened and Jimmy switched onto Giannis and he tried to shoot over Jimmy and that didn't drop. It might have been 1 or 2 plays, hook shots, that sort of thing. I also remember a play where the Bucks took way too long trying to get it to Brook Lopez in the post or whatever. And this is, besides just Jimmy and the Bucks just kind of vomiting on themselves in various parts of this fourth quarter, whatever. Once again, man, I just find myself being it just feels in the half court, the Bucks just kind of don't have a plan sometimes. They have a vague idea of what they want to do, and I get it. You're not going to call a set play every single time. And also credit to Miami. I mean, I remember one where I think it was a Middleton Giannis pick and roll or a Drew Giannis pick and roll. Bam dropped on the screen and then stole the would-be lob pass to Giannis. So, of course, the Heat have something to do with all this. But even so, it's just kind of wild to see a team that's won a championship and is so good and has one of the best players in the league, or in many people's eyes, including mine, the best player in the league. I don't know if the consensus takes a hit with that thing because of this game. I don't know if that was proper English. But still, it just seems like their offense is a little too much of a mess sometimes. And I don't know what you do with that. Now, I do think there was one play specifically where I was really oh wow, they're kind of playing off of Wesley Matthews super hard. Maybe I should go back and look at that fourth, and for all I know, they're just not guarding him at all. I mean, he did get one open three on a relocation where Bam kind of stuck with Giannis for half a second too long or whatever. But yeah, I'm rambling. But look, the Heat played good defense between the switching and Bam on Giannis and stuff. And also the Bucks offense once again has me sometimes are you guys good? And, some of that reflects on Budenholzer. And, I mean, I do think the whole play random thing has become a little bit of a meme, although it lessened for them because they won the title. Anyway, yeah, I don't know why they didn't call timeout at the end there. I mean, if there's ever going to be a time to run a set something, it's probably when there's 8 seconds left and the whole thing is on the line and all that. And now, I mean, I guess there might be a off-season Bucks video coming from me. I really didn't think I was going to be doing one of those things. At least not this early. But, I mean, you look at the landscape of the Eastern Conference now, and, I mean, we're getting Knicks Heat round 2, which just sounds like the most physical, ugly, but also beautiful brand of basketball you could imagine. And hey, if that Heat-Knicks rivalry from the 90s is still in there, it's going to come out. And, well, I would like to say that a Celtics-Sixers round 2 matchup becomes even more interesting than it already was, but as of right now, my Celtics have not closed the deal in Atlanta, so we'll see there. But I'll just say this on Milwaukee, and maybe I'll end up doing a video on whatever the hell they got going on. Look, just taking a quick glance at their salary situation, Brook Lopez is on the last year of his deal. I imagine they're going to want to bring him back. Middleton's got a player option for next season. It's for $40 million. I assume he's going to accept that. And then after that, I'll just say this. There's probably a million people on the internet right now who are saying fire Mike Budenholzer, and I already know that Bucks fans have wanted the guy gone even after the title. I typically trend towards the side of like the crazy thing is not going to happen. So if you force me to pick, I don't think the Bucks are going to see like massive overhauls because of this, but I'm wrong about a good amount of things, including a lot of my round 1 predictions in this thing. So we shall see with the Bucks. There's going to be a lot of conversation about Giannis and his legacy and all that stuff. I mean, look, you can't ignore his free throw shooting in this game. You can't ignore that play where he was like, get this ball out of my hands as fast as possible. Please, Middleton, grab the ball. Which, technically speaking, that is the right basketball play, but it also looked really funny. Let's just remember, those NBA Finals did happen before you start going crazy about Giannis' legacy, but still. But yes, this game did happen. What the hell? I don't even know what I just looked at.